Welcome to Josh's Cemetery Chats. What's up, Bearheart Nation? How's everybody doing today? So, I wanted to make this video. This is going to be the first big video on my new Cemetery Chats channel. Now, if you are brand new to the channel, if you're brand new to me, you've never seen any of my videos before, my name is Josh. I've had a channel for about a little over a year now that I've been uploading videos to, and I've tried a whole bunch of different types of videos, and I started doing these Cemetery Chats because I love hanging out in cemeteries. That's been a thing. I was doing photography in cemeteries, and I started doing Cemetery Chats. It's just one of my favorite places to go is just random cemeteries and finding those kind of things around. So I started doing the Cemetery Chats. I had a bunch of other things on that channel. It came to the point where I want to grow. I want to kind of expand the community a little bit. And the only way that I can really do that is by having a separate channel for the different kinds of videos that I was doing on the main channel. The main channel now is going to consist of documentary style videos. We've got a series called Ohio Legends and Tales that I've been doing for a while, and so that's what's going to be on that main channel. This channel is going to be dedicated solely to Cemetery Chats like this. Now, in addition to that, I also have a Patreon and I've got a merch shop. So I'll link both of those down in the description below. For the Patreon, I list the patrons in every single video on every channel, so it's not going to be a channel exclusive thing. If you sign up for Patreon on any of my channels, you're going to be listed as a patron on every channel, on every single video that I make. So that's the people that's listed here. The merch shop has a bunch of different stuff, like this cool shirt right here. Got a bunch of stuff that I'm working on as well, especially with the expansion of the brand and that kind of stuff. So with all that covered, let's go ahead and just jump into this video here. So of course, being the first video on this channel, I want to just kind of introduce myself and talk a little about me and my background, just in case you've never been here before. And even if you have been on my other channel, maybe, there's some things that I haven't really talked about before. So I want to talk a little bit about all that and make this video kind of just an introduction, because ultimately the purpose of this channel and these Cemetery Chats is to kind of have a conversation and back and forth. The whole purpose of a Cemetery Chat is to have a chat. And in that way, I'll be making these videos and I'll be responding to your comments down below on topics that you find interesting, thoughts that you have on whatever topic I happen to be covering in that video. And it'll be something where I'll be able to go back and forth with you guys and reference prior chats or prior conversations that we had maybe in the comments in future videos. So in that vein, since I'm going to be talking a little bit about me, I want to hear a little bit about you guys. What kind of things interest you? I've done a lot of stuff with ghosts and the paranormal and that kind of stuff. Is that the kind of stuff you guys are interested in? Is there, topics that you would love to see covered that maybe you haven't seen anywhere else on YouTube that you think would just be great for somebody to talk about? Let me know down in the comments. Now, as for me, like I said, I've done a lot of paranormal stuff in my life. I don't believe in ghosts at the present time. I used to be a big believer and a big proponent that, ghost haunted places and cemeteries being one of those places. And that's kind of where my love for cemeteries and the paranormal started. Back when I was a kid, my mom and her friend and all of us kids, there were 6 of us kids that would all pile into a van, and we would go out late at night on a Friday night or Saturday night, or through the summer, it could be any night of the week. And we'd all drive around looking for haunted places and legends that were being told about different things with where we lived and that kind of stuff. So I got really into the ghost stuff and the paranormal stuff. As I got older, I got more and more into wanting to go out and do my own type of stuff. And the ghost hunting shows were a big deal to me. And I loved watching those kind of things, Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures and all that kind of stuff. And that was all really big for me, as I was growing up and coming of age. And there used to be, and there still are some websites that would talk about legends. And Ohio had a ton. Ohio was considered at one time, it was called the most haunted state in the country because we just have so many legends. I don't know what the reasoning is for that, why there's so many legends and ghost stories around this, specifically in the state of Ohio. I know other states have their own legends, but Ohio seems to just really be packed full of them. And I would visit these websites that would talk about these stories and these legends, and I would just get all enthralled, and there was nights I would stay up all night long. It'd be 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be just reading through stories of these different, ghost stories and things to try and learn new things and figure out. I really wanted to go visit some, but it was really difficult at the time. So it was more like living vicariously through these stories that people were sharing. Now, eventually I would get the chance to kind of go out and explore some of these places that were supposedly haunted, but I didn't really ever have anything happen to me as far as like ghosts doing things I've never been scratched. I've never had anything come after me or whisper my name into a recorder or anything like that. And I never caught anything on video or pictures or anything like that that I saw as, oh my God, this is a ghost. And it really started to kind of get to me, like I really wanted to have that experience. It wasn't happening. And then I decided that I wanted to kind of dig more into the legends and learn about because I've always loved history. And so I thought, I'll dig more into the legends and I'll start kind of learning about some of these things, and the more I would dig in, the more times I would find there was no history to any of them. Most of the legends were frustratingly vague. There would be things like saying that, this woman hurled her baby off a bridge and then jumped off herself, for a crybaby bridge legend. And the problem with that was that there was nothing to substantiate that. And as far as I was concerned, if there was nothing to substantiate it, there couldn't possibly be a ghost there if somebody hadn't died tragically, because oftentimes when we think of ghosts, we think of, somebody died in a location, often tragically, and that's what causes a ghost. So I started getting more and more frustrated as I was digging into these, and time after time after time, I wasn't finding anything. And then in 2016, I decided I wanted to make a YouTube channel. And I didn't know what I was doing. All I had was my phone, and I would go around the cemeteries, and I would record as I was walking around cemeteries, and I would talk. But the wind noise was often bad, because the wind, for whatever reason in Ohio in the summer, the wind just is terrible. So the wind noise was always bad. It was always a pain, and the videos just didn't look very good. And there was nothing I was covering. I was just walking around looking at headstones. They were boring videos. But then I came across something that would wind up sparking my interest back into the legends side of things and learning more about the history. And that was a headstone in a cemetery near Bellefontaine, Ohio, for a girl named Sarah Alice Laughlin. Now, I hadn't heard any stories or legends about this particular person, and I decided I'd look it up, because on the side of the headstone, it said that she had died near Lewistown, or she'd been murdered near Lewistown Reservoir. And I was like, wait a minute, that seems really weird that this would be like, what could have happened here, and why is there no legend? I've never heard of this before. And so I went and I started digging and I started researching, and that was the first taste that I had of actually researching legends and researching some of these ghost stories. But this one, because it wasn't a legend, was a little bit more challenging, but I did wind up finding a really interesting story on it, and made a documentary back then that I wound up remaking recently, because it was just so captivating. And it was one of a couple of things in the Bellefontaine, Ohio area. One was actually a legend, and that was the tale of the Hatchet Man. That legend I had heard many a times, and I had gone out to that site. I was under the impression initially that he had been buried there with his family, because that's what the legend says. Turns out that wasn't true at all. And so that got me kind of even more thinking about things. And so I got to the point now where in 2021, I decided to get back into, because I stopped making YouTube videos in 2016 after that documentary. Life just kind of took over, and I wound up not being able to do them, and I gave up on it. Fast forward to 2021, I decided I want to get back into making videos, but it was more from a photography angle. Ghost photography and spirit photography has always fascinated me. And it's one of those things where I started taking pictures in cemeteries. I got a camera, and I was having fun with it. But I wasn't having fun for the photography stuff. I enjoy photography, hands down. Photography is one of my favorite hobbies, and it's actually my job now. But I enjoy photography, but I wasn't having fun making the photography videos. I was having fun going out to the cemeteries and exploring. And so over the course of the summer of 2021, I did a bunch of photography videos before getting into the fall. It got to the point in the fall, late in the fall and into the winter, where because of my job and the weather, it was just impossible to get out and do them. So I took a few months where I wasn't able to do any cemetery chats, and it was frustrating. Now I have the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm working for myself. I've made this into a business. And so now I'm going out to these cemeteries and sitting down and having chats. I have, I'm not restricted by the time. I can go out whenever I want to, whenever the weather's good, and do these kind of videos. And so that's what's going to be on this channel moving forward, is just these cemetery chats. Where it's going to differ from the original series that I was doing on my main channel, I'm going to lighten it up a lot. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, but I'm going to cover basically whatever is on my mind. So it's not just going to be ghost stuff. It's not going to just be the paranormal. There's going to be everything in there you can think of. Whatever happens to be bothering me that particular day or that particular week is what I'm going to be talking about. And if it's something that you guys suggest in the comments, I'll be talking, I'll cover topics that you guys put in the comments too. So and that's where the chats part come in, and the back and forth, and all of that comes together. Alright, so I think that's a pretty decent introduction to me and the channel. for a first video, you know, they aren't all going to be like this. Most videos are going to have a particular topic and a subject that I'm going to cover. So this is a little more freeform. I just kind of wanted to sit back and kind of have a conversation with you guys out there. And like I said before, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know a little bit about you. You know, tell me some of the things you're interested in, some of the things you would like to hear discussed. And I'll add them to the list. And I'll go down and just start making videos covering those topics and things that you guys are interested in. Because that's ultimately what this is for, is to have a chat, to have a conversation in the best way that we can. Obviously, we can't sit face to face, but this is about as close as we can get. So with all of that, I want to thank you all for watching. What I'll do is I'll link a playlist right up here that's going to be the playlist for all of the cemetery chats on the primary channel. So you can go check those out and get an idea for what these videos are kind of going to be moving forward. I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.